What the fuck?
What?
You just farted. Dude, come on. Are you serious? That's not fucking funny, dude. Why you gotta do that right as soon as I start? Did you do that on purpose?
No. Oh, it does stink. Something terrible.
Fuck me.
You made fun of my glasses last week.
Dude, sunglasses
They're prescription,
or inside?
but I look cool.
Outside you might. Come on. Street Race Life episode 5. So what do you got for today?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, I've been working on the Nova a little bit.
Yeah, you've been doing a little wiring on the Nova, trying to get it ready.
Tidying up my rat's nest.
Got a new switch panel,
Yeah, we put new
relay board.
ARC switch panel in it, and really nice. Comes that little ribbon that comes down to the relay board. We've got that mounted. I've got the let's see. We've got the water pump, the purge, the fan. That stuff's hooked up. The starter works. I'm gonna leave the starter on the key switch though. I don't want it on a switch panel. I want to be able to hit the key just like normal. So I'm going to leave the ignition and the starter on the switch. I got to get that ignition box mounted, that little digital retard box. I got to get that mounted yet. Connectors wired up on all the fogger wires and the plate wires. So I got the number 6 nitrous line run from the trunk up underneath the back seat. And we've got the half-turn valve sitting in the car where I want it. There's a couple of solenoids that we've got to mount. I think I'm going to mount those to the top of the half-turn valve. One of them operates the CO2 shifter. The other one operates the CO2.
You can't shift the car yourself?
Trans brake solenoid. What?
You can't shift the car yourself? You need an auto shifter?
I can shift it myself.
It's just one gear. I mean, how hard can it be?
Listen, sometimes I might want to go bracket race the car, and I want to be able to program it to shift. What? You're just trying to aggravate
So
me.
lame.
You're just trying to aggravate me.
So lame.
You know how many times I've seen you screw up shifting that truck? A lot.
Okay. How have I ever screwed up shifting the truck?
I don't even want to talk about it. So I got that stuff done, and I went to Jegs the other day and bought a whole bunch of wire. Here's some of it. Purple. I bought like $200 worth of wire, and I bought a new weather pack connector kit and some odds and ends. And then I think Jared Harlow's sending me a leash nitrous trans brake interrupter board. So that should get here by Wednesday. That'll give me something else to mount. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to fix that. But it's coming right along. I'm trying to make a little bit of progress on it every night, you know, just a little bit every night when I can get Billy to help me. He's usually doing something other than helping me. I don't know what you've been doing. So, I guess we're going to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I got a message yesterday from my good buddy Matt Rice.
From Delaware.
Delaware. So
Hi.
I think Matt was doing a live feed with
I'm in Delaware.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think Matt Rice has some connections with some people in Oklahoma, and they've wanted him to come out and do a race there. And it's actually a legal street race, so it's on a public road that they shut down. And it's a charity event, basically. Like, They raise money for the town. It's like it's a real small town. Not a whole lot of businesses or a lot of revenue generated, but they do this street race and they shut down the town, and it's a good time from what I've seen. They've been doing it for I think 5 or 6 years now.
I watched some of the videos on YouTube. It looks like a pretty good time. So.
It's called the Sayre Street Races, and everything I've heard has been good so far. Even Chris Hamilton spoke up and said that it's a really good event, and that says a lot because he's pretty critical of events and things like that.
He can be.
Yeah, he'll say it how it is.
Yeah.
If it's not a good place to go, then he'd tell us. So him saying that it's a good place to go and race and that we'd have a good time means a lot.
Right, and then I think Matt said the list is full. He's got 32 cars for small tire.
They're doing 32 cars, 6,500 guaranteed. Plus they're adding sponsorship money up until the race, so it could end up being a lot more than 6,500. Just have to see who steps up and sponsors.
I'm pretty excited that. Actually, I'm kind of shocked, but I'm really excited that there's 7 of us from Ohio.
Yeah, 7 people. I think I was the first one to lock into it because Matt messaged me about it, and I was like, man, I've been wanting to go to Oklahoma, and I've been wanting to go in street race. So for me to go 14 hours to Oklahoma, I kind of like something to do that I know isn't going to get busted.
Right. I mean, we know this is a guaranteed thing, right?
Yeah. So if we
go out there and we do a little street racing,
before or after the event, I mean, it's not going to be a waste of an event if it gets busted.
Right. If we make a trip out there and the illegal stuff gets busted, we can't do that. We know we're going to be able to at least do this.
Yeah. And it's cool, It's relaxed. You can film it, easily. You don't have to worry about anything like that. It'll probably be a daytime race for the most part, so it'll be good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 7 of us coming from Ohio.
The Andrades are going to be there.
Yeah, it looks like the 3 Andrades are going to be there.
So I'm kind of excited to meet them and hang out with
Kyle
them a little bit.
Buckmaster and the Chevy Love truck's going to be there.
That's going to be sweet.
Street Outlaws, New Orleans.
That's a nasty little truck.
Yeah, that thing's always spitting flames out the fenders.
So let's talk about the guys from Ohio that are going. C.J. Buckner.
C.J. Buckner.
Is he taking Raggedy Ann?
I think he's taking Raggedy Ann. He's got another car in the works, I think, but that's all rumors. So, but definitely Raggedy Ann if it's ready.
That's the red and white Fox body Mustang.
Everybody from Ohio knows that car. It's bad.
The small block Ford powered nitrous car. Very popular here in the state of Ohio, especially.
He had some tough luck last year.
Right, yeah.
With hurting some pistons and things like that. But
right.
I think he's going to get it on the right track this year, and I think he's really going to shine. So.
Then you've got Craig Metcalf and the Cracker, another Fox body Mustang. This one
the biggest ego from Ohio.
I don't know. Maybe,
yeah. Maybe. If Phil Hines was going, that would be the biggest, probably. But yeah, Craig's a good dude. He's a good racer. You know what I mean?
That's a big block.
He has a different way of going about, locking in races and things like that.
Yeah.
He likes to get under your skin, but you got to remember it's all part of the game. In real life, he's a good dude.
Yeah. He's got that black, big block Ford nitrous Fox body Mustang. He raced with us at Katy a little bit. Raced with us at Pacemakers when we had Boosted come up for that $8,000 shootout. He was in that. Really nice car. Nice family. What's that fella's name that helps him all the time? Super nice guy. I can't think of his name right now. I can see his face, and I just can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. You know who I'm talking about. Rob Mounts.
Rob Mounts, yeah.
I'm sure he'll probably go with him. I hope he does. I like Rob.
Rob's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a very good person. He's a good helper. He's there with Craig every time Craig goes somewhere. Let's see. So then we've got...
Can't even read your own handwriting.
No, I just can't see because of my sunglasses.
It's because you're wearing them inside.
Tony McKinney. Well, it just so happens.
Oh, no.
I brought my other set.
Might as well not see again. I'd rather you not see. Tony McKinney.
Tony McKinney, the stepchild, bright red Fox body Mustang, another Ford powered. Isn't there a Chevy powered Mustang on this list? I don't think there is.
Chevy
yep,
powered?
there is.
Yeah.
There's one coming.
Eric Mann's.
Yeah. So, Tony McKinney's little stepchild red Mustang. He's also locked into the Katy $20,000 race.
Complete auto repair.
Yep, complete auto repair.
I can't remember what the little town is, but they're out of Dayton area.
Yeah, down near Dayton.
They do a lot of dyno tuning. They do complete builds. They do just everyday cars. They do it all.
And
so
then Todd Dennis, also a complete auto repair teammate there, and the green Mustang, I assume. I don't know what car he's going to enter for sure.
they've got a few cars in the stable, so you're not really sure which one they're going to bring out.
Right. And then what? Eric Mann's,
Eric
Boston
Mann's,
George.
He's making some big changes this year.
We'll talk about that here in a little bit. And then you got Adam Hildebrand.
Adam Hildebrand, he just actually joined the Ohio Outlaws list, so
Oh,
he's
he
on
did?
there now. Yeah.
Really?
So a lot of the Ohio Outlaw cars are going to be going down to Oklahoma, and you'll probably see a lot of us racing at Sayre and other activities as well.
You never know. We might get a little bit of grudge racing going on while we're out there too. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to do a
It
little
would
grudge
suck
racing.
if we went out there and had to run everyone first round. So I'm
It
sure
may
there'll be
happen.
some interesting call-outs.
Yeah.
I might call out the fastest person there just to get him out of the way. Who knows?
Yep. So then you got you and your junk bucket S10.
Yeah, got me going.
So have you got that thing back together?
Absolutely not.
No.
Well, whose fault is it?
Yours. You blew it up. Idiot. You should pay attention to what you're doing.
Whatever. Wastegate problem.
Driver error.
All right.
You want to fight? So the motor for the S10 is still in machine shop prison?
Yeah, it's over at Performance Research. As far as I know, they've been waiting on a sleeve now for a couple weeks. It had to be made, I guess. Hopefully they're able to get the sleeve this week and get it installed, get it all bored out, honed, and hopefully the crank shows up, pistons show up. They found a good set of pistons that I can use. I'm going to go with another set of domes because I don't like that low compression life. It's just, I don't like the way they sound. So it's going to sound nasty still, and I don't give a fuck. I ain't going to run it on that much boost this year because it's going to stay on the street pretty much.
Right. Booley's going to love you. John Booley's going to have a fit.
Bully don't like a lot of people, so that's fine. It is what it is. You know.
John did the camshaft in it.
John's a good dude. I like him, but he's just gonna have to hate me. So
He ain't going to hate you. He's just going to tell you every time he sees you that you're an idiot.
that's fine.
Like me. So that's June 15th when we're going out there to Oklahoma to the Sayre Street Races to shut down the town small tire 32 shootout.
DNR Auto putting that race on. Clear from Delaware, traveling to Oklahoma to put this small tire race on. Got some connections with some people out there. He does a great job of getting everything together. Obviously, He filled a 32 car field in less than 12 hours.
Yeah, this
16 hours. Something
listen,
like that.
I've been talking about this a little bit on the internet. This type of no prep racing is scorching hot right now. I'm seeing the big time no prep stuff on tracks is struggling. It's struggling a little bit. But this stuff, this real street racing or legal street racing or back into the track like they're going to do at Milan this year with Detroit Hood TV.
As close as you can get to the street, that's
This stuff
what's
is
gonna
hot.
Take off.
And it's the whole reason why I'm putting the Nova back on the street. Some of these have classes for street legal cars, full interior, and that's what I've got. So, I'm taking my bracket car and turning it into a no prep heads up car to run small tires at these events like this. They're popping up all over the country. 710 Dragway, English Mountain's a good one, KD's a good one, Midnight Madness, Milan Dragway, Detroit Hood TV's event. Now, we're going to Sayre, Oklahoma for the Sayre Street races.
Yeah.
There's stuff like this popping up all over the country, and it's so popular because cars like my old junk Nova can compete.
Well, you think you can.
I know I can.
So you get next to that S10, then you'll be going back to bracket
Shut
racing.
up. I'll blast you in that too.
And bracket?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't give a fuck about bracket racing, so you can blast me all you want.
You can be a hater all
I'll
you
just
want.
get
I
to
don't
the finish
care.
line first and not give a care. That's real racing.
I like all of it. You're just a hater.
Bracket racing can be fun when you're winning a lot, but you got to do it all the time to be competitive.
Guess who
And
wins a
I
lot?
You bracket race a lot, so if you're into that, and
You've won bracket racing. You've won bracket racing at Nova Super Pro.
I have a couple times.
He's lazy. Here's the problem with
lazy.
Billy. He's lazy. You're freaking lazy.
I just don't like
Bracket
to be
racing,
bored.
you got to usually get up in the morning and get after it and be alive and awake and alert. And you are not alive, awake, and alert before noon ever.
I like racing a car that you can potentially die every time you get in it.
Well, that's
It's
my
exciting.
Nova. I don't have any brakes. We're going to fix that. So we're kind of excited about this Sayre Street races. Matt from DNR Auto, thank you, man, for asking us to go and be a part of it. Thank you for helping put the small tire list together. Matt's been doing a fantastic job with everything he's doing at DNR Auto, all the live feeds and everything. He's very unlike us. He's very eloquent.
Yeah, he knows what he's a very good talker. He knows what to say.
He's
And
very organized, unlike us.
yeah, he's got it together. He seems like a really smart guy. He's a veteran. Thank you for your service, Matt. He's just a great dude. So we're so glad to go and race in other states and meet new people, and hopefully bring back some money to Ohio. At least one of the 7 of us can.
So I noticed Limpy's racing today. I guess I seen some live feeds down there on 660 Street. They're down there
Every weekend, baby. They're out
Sundays.
there racing.
Sunday fun days.
Sunday fun day.
Check out 660 Street. And then Limpy has a YouTube channel. If anybody's YouTube channel ought to blow it up, it really ought to be Limpy's. I mean,
He's got more action than anybody else,
right. So check out Limpy on Instagram and check him out on YouTube and 660 Street
His
and all those
Instagram is
guys.
mostly just dirty memes, though. I kind of like them, though. They kind of spice things up.
You're right. His Instagram's almost entirely dirty memes.
I like it, man. He don't care, so it's cool.
If you're a snowflake, you're probably not going to like Limpy.
Yeah.
You're not going to like his Instagram. I guarantee you that if you're a snowflake. So check them out. They're down there racing probably as we're up here talking about it.
Yeah, they're finishing up. I think they're live today. 660 Street is. I know that.
So I see Tyler No Boost isn't going to sell the X. A little news out of New York State.
Yeah, he's back and forth on it, and this week he's not selling it. So I talked to him earlier this week, and I guess he's going to keep it. He's too in love with it, so. And I'm glad he's keeping it because I'd like to see him race it and keep making people mad. That car's made a lot of people mad over the past year or so.
I don't know if it's the car. I think it's mostly Tyler.
Yeah, but I mean, him and the car together is just like
Aggravation.
Yeah. That car's not supposed to be that fast, I don't think, but it just is. It works really well.
Something else I saw there, Petey Small Block. I see he's bought himself a profiler box.
Yeah, some more news out of New York.
Yeah.
That ought to shake things up. I suppose Petey is probably going to try and do the No Prep King stuff next year if he's going to invest that much money in a Davis box, and he's going to try and hit a lot of those no preps. So good luck to him. That's one of the best boxes you can buy as far as traction control goes. It's it's absolutely the best, and there's no doubt in my mind. So
You know, he may be trying to go run some of those airport races too.
yeah, maybe.
You know, I talked a few weeks ago to Tommy Reek on the phone, and he mentioned that there was some airport races in Pennsylvania and New York that were heating up. Check out Tommy Reek's page on Facebook. He seems to be keeping everything updated on there, what he plans to do and what the New York Street Outlaw guys are doing.
For those who don't know who Tommy Reek is, that's
White
White
Lightning.
Lightning out
Out.
of New York. Got
Yes,
that
sir.
57 Chevy, white, badass, big tire car.
He's
Old
crazy as a
school.
bed bug.
He's crazy as hell, but you gotta love him, man. He's gonna put on some good races this year,
Yeah.
some airport races.
So that
check
may
him
be a
out.
little bit of what Petey's got in mind. I mean,
Maybe,
he
yeah.
may be going to deal with some of that stuff. I don't know, but
Yeah, those boxes are definitely really good, and it's hard to compete with them. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
so a little bit of news around here, local to Ohio. I guess we went and visited Eric Mann's the other day at AJ Luckett's shop, and it looks like he's got himself a pro mod going together over there
Yeah, I think Eric, when he wrecked his car in North Carolina,
at 710 with us. Yeah.
he wrecked his car, and they went ahead and redid the front end on it because I think it was a little bit tweaked, and they redid the turbo kit. They redid the entire turbo placement. He's doing a new motor this year. I think it's going to be a little bit bigger, and definitely a little bit bigger turbo, and it's going to be nasty. I don't look forward to lining up next to him, that's for sure.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, he's a buddy. You know, you don't necessarily always want to race buddies, but you can guarantee that when we do line up, it's going to be a good race.
What I feel
As it
like's going to
always
happen is he's got a totally new combination he's going to have to work the bugs out of, and we're pretty much going back to exactly the way we had it, but we're going to try not to screw it up so bad, right?
Right. So we might try some new suspension stuff. We need to get a new anti-roll bar put in the truck.
We do need to do that. I was talking to Sean Preston just before we started the podcast from Next Motorsports down in Lickfield, Kentucky. And he was asking what we needed on the truck and the Nova. I know the Nova needs some swing outdoor bars for me and your mom so we can cruise around on the street and get in and out of it comfortably. But I know the truck needs an anti-roll bar put in it. The anti-roll bar that's in it was just a cheap kit that we bought from Jegs, and it probably would do just fine at a lower horsepower level. But given the street miles that have been put on that truck, and how bad that truck's been beat to death in the last year or so, it's definitely in need of an anti-roll bar replacement. So we might talk to those guys about taking the Nova and the truck down there to their shop. I'm sure that they'd be the two biggest pieces of junk in that shop, but
Well, I mean, they do some nice work.
they do.
So, and
They
they've
work
talked
on
about
high-end
helping us,
stuff.
So we'll take all the help we can get. We appreciate you guys reaching out to us.
Yeah, because we need all the help we can get,
Yeah.
especially in that
Yeah, that
area.
anti-roll bar in that truck's just cheap. Jegs anti-roll bar kit we had put in, and it's on its last leg. Like, it's wore out. I don't know how well it's working anymore.
So, speaking of high-end stuff, I noticed Daddy Dave did a live feed the other day, and hell has officially frozen over.
Yeah, never happened.
Yeah, never happened. He's gone twin turbo, and according to what I saw in his live feed, there's a shop right behind his out in Oklahoma City called the Pad OKC. And from what I've seen, those guys do some amazing work. The twin turbo kit that they put on Daddy Dave's car, phenomenal. It's high dollar stuff. I mean, even the exhaust pipes are made out of titanium.
Yeah, and I'm sure he didn't really want to switch to twin turbos, but in order to compete, I think at that level, I just don't know if he was having the success with the Pro Charger that he needed. I know a lot of people do, like...
well, I mean, he could have put a bigger Pro Charger on it, but it would have had to hang clear out through the front bumper.
Yeah, like
He was out of room.
Megalodon, it's got that long nose on it, and he can get
Right.
away with it. And he does really well with the Pro Charger. But
Right.
I think for Daddy Dave's car, it's kind of a short nose. You know what I mean? He's he's got the turbos now. They're up kind of placed where mine are, up in the front.
Now, he said that the car only gained like 20 or 22 pounds. And that was the whole idea. They had the car scaled out and they had it working really well last year. He was happy with the way the chassis was working, so he wanted to try and keep that weight bias about the same. But the only thing I'm concerned about for him, and he would know better than I would, but the only thing I'm concerned about is the weight percentage nose to rear is the same. That's all fine and good, but that weight's up high like your truck is. And we've already seen what that does when you put weight up high, even out there on the nose. They tend to want to stand up.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be back on the bars quite a bit.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Riding them wheelie bars, so
I'm looking forward to see how he does with it, because he's got twin Precision 88s on it, same engines, 481X. He mentioned they were going to take it and get a cam swap done, and then he was taking it to Haltech to get a tune put in it. So it'd be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch, and I hope he's a contender. You know, I've met him before. He's a good dude, from what I can tell. Yeah, I mean, we raced, like, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And it was just like racing anybody else. He was just cool as can be. You wouldn't even know that he's any different than you, you know?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. We like him. So another little tidbit out of Oklahoma, I see Chief and Sean was working on Caddy Jack. They got it back out of out of prison.
Yeah, I think they had some incident. Maybe Jackie, I think
Jackie got
Chief's
busted.
Girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got busted with it, I think, and they had I think it was like gone for like a year, or they couldn't drive it on the street for a year
street or something.
Yeah, so it's good to see that car back out. Glad they're having fun with it again.
Looks like Memphis has started filming again. I saw a live feed that JJ put up the other day. He had actually the producers and the videographers from the show, from Pilgrim and whoever else there that does that deal, had them in the shop down there at Memphis, and they were talking to him, and I guess they've just started filming. So I'm sure he's got Old Heavy in a chassis shop someplace getting patched up.
Yeah, it's hard to keep those cars together. They were doing like a pretty much countrywide tour. I mean, they went from Alabama all the way to California, you know.
They
were
went to
going
Texas,
all the way down
New Mexico, and then
all over, you know, the lower half of the country.
Right. So a little bit of information out of Memphis also. There seems to be another group being put together by Jamie Otts. They call it the Memphis 10.
Yeah, so the Memphis 10, what it is they've started a list where you can only have back half cars, no tube chassis, and they've got to be on a 29.5 10.5, right?
Yeah. I talked to Jamie Otts on the phone the other day. It was actually, I think it was last Sunday. I talked to him for a little bit on the phone, and
he has Killer Cab for you guys that don't know. He raced on the Memphis Street Outlaws show, I think the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then he hopped off, but he started up his own thing.
And he had nothing but good things to say about JJ and all them. They just had a little difference of opinion, and he wants to go do his own thing, and we respect that. He had nothing but good things to say about JJ and his group. There's no animosity there at all. He just wanted to go do something different, and
he mentioned that there's a lot of cars over there in Memphis that can't necessarily compete
with tube chassis cars.
With some of the tube chassis cars that they've got racing on the show, some of them big tire cars, and they just kind of felt left out. You know, the show, obviously people want to see the fastest stuff possible, and some of those guys, they just can't afford to do that, and they're kind of wanting to get something going for the guys in Memphis that have been racing a long time.
And not all those guys,
Memphis what it is.
Right, and not all those guys from Memphis can afford to go travel and do what JJ and his group is doing. So that there's kind of a faction that probably feels left out a little bit, and maybe has little hard feelings. You know, Jamie doesn't. He didn't reciprocate that feeling at all. But he said he wanted to do something for the folks there that are local in Memphis that can't afford to go do all that stuff. They can't afford to build tube chassis cars and 700 cubic inch big block engines. And so check them out.
They're looking to race other groups.
Right.
So check them out on Facebook. If you've got a group that wants to race them, they'll travel, or you can travel to them. They've got good spots in Memphis, obviously.
Yep. So get a hold of Jamie Otts and check out their Facebook page, Memphis 10. Seems like a pretty good group of guys there.
Yeah, definitely. Jamie seems like a good dude.
So we started a documentary on Katy Dragway here recently. That $20,000 no prep shootout that's coming up May 10th and 11th. It's getting a lot of attention. There's over 2,000 people on the event page already. There's a lot of cars being built. Eric Mann's is going through a bunch of work on Boston George. We're going through the truck and getting it ready, going through the Nova, getting it ready. We went down and saw Caleb Miller the other day in Middletown. He's getting the third-gen Camaro ready to go. He's got some chassis
saw
for
Garth Lightfoot the other day.
Garth
We've been
Lightfoot.
going all over the place, taking video and shops and doing tours, things like that. And just checking out what everybody's got going on the off season. And we're going to throw it in the video.
Right.
And I'll probably end up releasing it next winter after all the racing's done. And I can see what all I have. And I can put something together that's really professional and nice. And if everything goes right, I'm going to try and get it on a pretty high-profile platform like Amazon Prime or something like that. But if not, it'll definitely be on YouTube. I might release it in like a 10-part series, maybe like 30 minutes each. But it's going to be really cool. I'm going to follow around people that go to KD and Midnight Madness and, sometimes go to their shops, see what all they're really about out inside the racing and outside.
And that brings up another topic that came up this morning. I saw a post on Facebook and I shared it. And it kind of hit home because we've had a lot of people message us personally, and we don't talk about it because a lot of the things that people send to us in messages is very personal. The deal at KD is it's really kind of unlike anything I've ever seen or felt anywhere else. It's taken on a life of its own. That's a very poor community down there. Not a lot going on. And the people that come to watch and race in that deal, they really look forward to it. And some of them have sent us messages thanking us, that they had struggled with drug addiction or depression. Some of them have lost family members and were struggling to deal with that. And I know I still get messages every once in a while, but there was a fellow on Facebook, and I shared it today. He's gone through some things with in his life with family and drug addiction, things like that. And this stuff at KD
and everywhere, really. I mean, everywhere there's this kind of racing that everybody can get involved in.
Right. It helps. And it's not just at KD, but it's everywhere. But the documentary, we hope to show not only all the work that goes into the racing and the cars and the tow vehicles, and I mean everything that goes into it. There's still another side out there that's really hard to show. We're going to try. But
try and show the impact that it has.
The impact that it has on the community and the families, the children.
Maybe go into town and interview some people that are heading to the race that night or something,
And some of the shop owners and the gas station owners down there in South Webster. I think there's only how many people live in South Webster?
I think there's only 980 some people. Maybe less. There might be 800. So
just to give you guys, I know not everybody that watches this knows what Katy Dragway is and what Midnight Madness is, but these events started because we were tired of going down to Southern Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky and not getting a race off. We were trying to go street racing down there. And every time we went down there, something would happen. We'd get busted. We couldn't race. We went down there 3 or 4 times in a month span, and finally we just, I called Alan Lynch one night, and I said, "Man, what are you guys doing at KD Saturday?" He said, "Well, we're having a bracket race Saturday." I said, No. What do you mean? I mean, at night, at midnight. He said, "At midnight?" I said, "Yeah." So Midnight Madness was started due to the fact that when we would go down to Kentucky and West Virginia and Southern Ohio, we'd always get busted. And so the guys that street race down in that area have all started coming to Katy for this deal. That track is it's probably the worst street you've ever raced on out past 60 foot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first 60 foot's pretty good. There's a good amount of rubber, but after that, it's basically worse than any road that I've ever raced on. I mean, it's anybody's race, and that's what brings people out. Everybody's got a shot at winning.
And I think that's what, I've said it before, but I think that's what makes that place so successful. It is what it is because of what it isn't. And the people that come to watch all know it's a sketchy surface. They like the action. They like to see these guys wrestle the cars down the track.
And it's more of a driver's race than anything, and a tuner's race.
Yeah.
Than who's got more money. And that's what you see with a lot of this, other no prep stuff. It's whoever has the most power and money, but
I feel like
it's different.
I feel like the no prep stuff that's happening on nice tracks is struggling because it's not a real no prep. Now I did see Matt Plotkin put up some pictures the other day that they're getting ready for a race down there, his Headhunters race, and they're scraping that track bare.
Bounty Hunters, you mean?
Bounty Hunters, yeah. So, that's different. But, Reaper had that race down at Florida yesterday. What was the name of that track? You've been there.
Emerald Coast Dragway.
Emerald Coast. I know the weather wasn't very good, and that probably had effect on attendance, but looked like the pickings were a little slim down there. Looked like everybody had a good time that went, but I really feel like maybe some of the stardust is starting to wear off of the television stuff, maybe a little bit. And if you're taking these cars to a track that's got rubber on it and it's really nice, not trying to pick on nice tracks, but that's just not outlaw street style no prep racing anymore. And I feel like it's struggling. Whereas stuff like Katy, I really think the stuff up in Milan with Detroit Hood TV is going to be hot. The Sayre Street races, I mean, that's going to be hot. It looks to me like it's been really good over the years. So I don't know. We'll see. But this thing at KD, we hope to maybe portray everybody or show everybody's struggles and what it takes to compete down there and what it takes to be able to, I don't know, just what it takes to keep your life on track and stay out of trouble and, keep yourself off drugs. I mean, you've got to really put forth a lot of effort and some sacrifices in your life if you want to do this. So the racing, while I hate to see it take up people's entire life, it does tend to have an effect of pushing out bad things. There's no time for partying and drinking and if you're constantly working on race cars, and it gives people something to look forward to. So we hope to include some of that in the documentary also, because it is important.
All right. Well, anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I think that's it. Other than pound your ass at Milan.
You are not, dude. You got to get that out of your head. You're gonna be disappointed.
What have you done?
Cry.
Listen, I've been out here every day working on my car.
I'm waiting on my engine at the machine shop.
What about the heater panel? You got to take that heater box off. You need to order that panel. Yeah, but you need to order that panel. The
Maybe
panel.
I want to keep the freaking heater box.
No, you're just saying that just to be on this stupid camera. You know damn well you're going to take that thing off there.
I kind of like it.
All right. You fight it. You deal with it.
I don't want some damn flat panel, really. I want people to look in there and be like, oh, you still got a heater? Yeah, I can hook it up.
You're retarded.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And comment. Tell us what you guys think, what you guys want to talk about next time. See you guys.
See you guys. Thanks.